I'm not against relationship. I'm not against marriage. It's the process, the kind of people that I met with, the kind of bad people, and it turns out to be a bad relationship. Or sometimes you're even bad yourself. So there are doors that you can't pass through because you are brave, because you're smart. There are doors you can actually pass through because you are connected to someone. Like, that point of being connected to someone gives you this title of trust. Even every parent is proud to see their children as doctors, as engineers, as bankers, as however that professional type of work. But when it comes to digital, a lot of people can testify. Like, you're telling your mom, you were at the uni studying to be a nurse, studying to be a doctor, but then boom, you turned out to be a content creator.
Hello, welcome back to Make Your Own Destiny podcast, the podcast that inspires you to shape your future. Today we are with a very, very special guest. Her name is Getrude Mligo. She will introduce herself later. But what I can tell you is she is an author, a storyteller, a digital strategist, and she has written more than 13 books. And her books are very notable and they have been translated in multiple languages such as Indian, Korean, but I'll let her talk about the books later. So without further ado, like this video, comment down below, let me know what you think about this episode, or if you want another guest, just comment her name or his name down below, and also subscribe if you like this kind of content. So Gertrude, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So for the people who don't know, who is Gertrude?
So for people who don't know who's Getrude, in which are so many of them, Getrude Yosefu Mligo is a digital strategist who works with government, non-government organization, individuals, but also she's an author, as you have said, Eri. I have wrote over 13 books, but also I am passionate to education, a fan of education. I have a school, pre and primary. Other than that, which other hat I have to mention? Oh, I also train people, children and adults, about digital management and how they can utilize the digital economy.
Okay. You do a lot of stuffs, so I've been wondering, how does your day look like? Because you do digital marketing, you have a school, as you said, you write books. So how does your day look like from when you wake up until you go to sleep?
Well, it's weird. Sometimes I sit down and wonder, why did I choose to wear so many hats? But then, short story. Back when I was 18 years old, the moment I woke up, I'll just pick my phone, check up on Instagram, Facebook, wondering how many likes I got from my previous post. I slept with my own expectation that once I wake up, it will be 100 likes. Then I wake up with 50 or 10 likes.
Okay.
It's a mess. Like, where did I go wrong? Is this picture not good? Did I even sit in the right angle? So that was the only problem I had. But then whoever said life humbles you as you grow up was correct. As an adult, starting from my 20s, the first thing that I used to touch when I wake up was my phone and go direct to my emails, applying different types of applications, expecting congratulations, Getrude, you have been selected. No. Getrude, unfortunately, many of them, but you have to keep pushing, and the more you keep pushing, the more you wake up and check up on your emails. Then there's Slack. Slack is with other people that I work with. It helped me maintain if I have an appointment, if I have another meeting that comes up, but also my calendar. God, thank you for the person who innovated calendar. With calendar, I check up on my deadlines, if I have any important training that I'm supposed to do, but also if I have any deadline about a book that I'm writing. And usually I have a word in every date, like Getrude, you have to do this today. This is the deadline. If you don't do it, are you really a good person? So, okay, I'm not a bad person, so I have to finish this super fast. But also, it helps me being intact to my timetable. I want to do so many things. If it's so many things, then I have to make sure that everything is on timeline.
So, in 2021, you won a very prestigious award called Malkia wa Nguvu. And in recent years, people have been discrediting these kinds of awards. So, how was winning Malkia wa Nguvu award helpful to you?
Has it ever occurred to you, you are in a room singing a song in which you are very talented? 6,000 of people are watching you. Up until you are 60 minutes, no one clap, and you don't hear a round of applause. You don't hear even whistles, nothing. It feels like, am I doing the right thing? Am I truly singing? Am I really talented? It gets you to that point. But then we are in this type of a society that wants you to actually get a round of applause. So if you live in this era of waiting a round of applause from people, it will be very hard for you to do things. But why am I saying that? I'm saying that because denying it or accepting it, we are living in a world that awards helps you to be recognized by other people, like your work is authentic, your work is trustable, but also it's easy for people to network with you, like, oh, she has several awards, it means she makes sense, it means her work is good, it means we can trust her. So this has made a lot of people to be desperate to get awards. I always say this, don't buy awards. Some people have not been recognized nationally, but guess what? They have been recognized internationally. So don't buy awards. I know they say, a lot of people say it has become a cliche, your time will come. It sure comes. It's that patient which we don't usually learn at class, which makes it even more harder to wait. So, yeah, I think the most important thing is you keep doing what you're doing. If people see you, if people notice what you're doing, then they should recognize you. You don't have to pay for something in order to get that recognition.
That's very nice. I remember this year we were also nominated in one of the awards. It was the Tanzania Digital Awards. We're very happy, and I remember we actually wanted to go to them and be like, hey, why did you choose us? But then I realized that our work was the one that introduced us to them.
Yes.
To see that, oh, these guys deserve to be nominated. Yeah. So let your work speak for you.
Yeah.
And Malkia wa Nguvu Award was organized by the late media mogul Ruge Mutahaba. Did you get a chance to meet him?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Yeah.
You also do storytelling, and I can tell from how we have been communicating that your storytelling is very nice. So how do you craft your stories so that they can be relatable to someone who you're talking to?
Relatability actually depends on the kind of people that I meet with, I talk with, from my friends, strangers, stories from public transports. That's where I form my stories, because that's how I know this is a problem, and it needs a solution. So even my books, sometimes my friends, when they get a chance to read my books, they'll be like, Gertrude, this book kind of speaks to me directly. And I'll be like, nah, it's not even that. But I know I can confirm that I heard your story once upon a time, so I decided to change that story, change names, and put it in a book. So, for example, my previous book, which was Tandi, When Are You Getting Married? That book had a lot of good feedbacks from people since I had a lot of stories from my friends, different strangers that I used to meet with, how they're struggling with marriage. Like they're at that age, 33, 35, the society, their parents, everyone is pushing them to get married. Like, what are you waiting for? It's your time to get married. You won't get kids when you're 40. You won't get kids when you're 37, etc. So, things like that.
And what inspired you to write Tandi? When are you getting married?
The inspiration came, one of my close friend, a close friend but also a sister, she was 36. I remember one day I met her. It was only for work purpose.
Yeah.
But then she said, Getrude, I'm currently struggling personally. I don't know if I should tell you this or not.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, sure, you can just be open. And then she told me, like, her parents, her father, mother, it's like they're trying to disown her.
Yeah.
Because she is not married yet. She said, I'm about to turn 40, so my parents are currently struggling. They feel like the society is having bad perception on the family. Maybe we have issues, so I am supposed to get married. In which it is not like I don't want to get married. It's that process of getting married. Because at the end of the day, you're not marrying yourself, right?
Yeah.
You need someone to marry. So it's that process which is very hard, and they don't understand. I'm not against relationship. I'm not against marriage. It's the process, the kind of people that I met with, the kind of bad people, and it turns out to be a bad relationship. Or sometimes you're even bad yourself. So it is a process that is a struggle. So it inspired me, said, okay, so sometimes women, when they're at that age of getting married, it's not only about why aren't you getting married? It's about who am I marrying to? I can't marry myself at the end of the day.
Passing through your Instagram page and your stories, I've realized that you got married this year. So congratulations for that. And how has that helped you so far?
Well, I would say this is, like when we are in a hotel, you get a lot of variety of options.
Yeah.
Buffet. You choose what kind of food you want.
Exactly.
Either it's chicken, either it's chipsy, either it's rice, whatsoever you want.
Yeah.
So it's like a choice. So for me, I would say a choice that I chose to choose was a good choice. It was for me personally, and I believe that is one way or another of me finding someone who we can have this partnership, either in work or in other issues within the community or outside of the community, to be able to pull up some few strings, to be able to push out ourselves personally, and at the end of the day, it's that union that brings in economic growth at the family level.
What's your take? Do you think everyone should get married?
As I said earlier, it's a choice in which everyone got a choice to choose.
Yeah.
Do you want this? Do you want fried potatoes, or do you want chicken rice? I want fried potatoes. Okay, so it's a choice. You want it, or do you want it? In which it's as a community, we need to respect their choices, everyone's choices. That if she chooses this, or if he chooses, then it's okay for him. If it accommodates what he or she wants, then he or she should go for it.
Most youth these days, they don't want to get married. I remember one of my mentor said something very important. He said that getting married is not that good, but at the end of the day, it beats all the other alternatives. So you only remain with one choice.
Yeah. We are waiting for cards, invitation cards.
Yeah. So you do digital marketing as well, as you said. So do you have any success story from a company that you did digital marketing with?
Not specifically company, but a government.
Okay.
I worked with Ubungo Municipal, in which they got their award actually on previous weekend.
Yeah.
The best ever digital how do they call it, a digital page that responds quickly to citizens' questions, but also they are very good to post what is going on, like they are updated. So that award, it was not only that, their executive director was also awarded by the best person who leads, and it all started with how they update her work on social media. They are all digital pages. So for me, as a digital strategist who got to train them, manage their pages, to show them how you do this, how you pull this, I think it's a one impact that I am fond of, and I am very, 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 very proud.
And how do you balance the two between being a digital strategist and a creative storyteller? Is there any difference between the two, or any conflicts between the two?
A digital strategist and it's like they're all into digital marketing.
Okay.
They're all into digital marketing. It's like that skill you pick. You have been given, for example, this is a table. You have been given 2 chairs. You can either choose to pick both chairs, or you can choose one. So for me, I pick several skills out of digital marketing.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to be a one person. I just want to be multi-person. So I chose creative storytelling and digital strategist because I know I am very, very good at it.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it is because I want to do something that I'm super passionate of.
Okay.
So whenever challenges arise, I won't run away. I don't want to run away from problems.
Yeah.
I want to solve them. But then it's very hard if you are doing something that you are not passionate of. It will be very easy for you to run away because you feel like, why am I even doing this? Yeah. So there's also a difference between digital strategist and creative storytelling. Digital strategist is all about strategizing how other people's digital outlook should look like, how should they engage on digital platform, what kind of digital platform should they use, how should they increase the engagement. But with creative storytelling, it's how you want the world to perceive you through stories.
You talked about something very important, that's doing something you love. I always encourage people to do something that they're passionate about, because things get very tough on the way, and if you are doing something that you don't like, it's very easy to give up and it's very easy to stop. So whatever you're doing, just make sure you are passionate about it, so that during the hard times you can keep going, because it's what you love and you're not just doing it, let's say, for the money. So if you could be a digital strategist of a celebrity, either in Tanzania or abroad, who could it be, and what would you do for them differently that they're not doing yet?
It could be Rihanna. Because first of all, I'll change her name because it's very hard to find a name. I'll change her name, Bad Girl Riri, to her real name, Rihanna, like the famous name Rihanna. And then what I'll add more to her page, Rihanna is authentic. You know how she promotes her work? She is authentic. The kind of foundation that she's wearing, she'll show you from the befores and afters. But then I guess what I'll add is to make it not more professional, but also to make it like it's a casual video. Like people should see it, should feel it, should resonate. Like, okay, this is not about quality. It's not about the quality of the camera. That's why I'm looking like this. It's because of the foundation itself. It's because of this powder that I'm using. It's because of this lipstick that I'm using. Yeah, so it's more of adding a situation that resonate with the community that she has.
But Gariri, if you're watching this, just come to Getrude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Tanzanians, they don't like reading books. That's a notion that's available right now. But you have written more than 13 books. How do you make sure that your books are being read by Tanzanians?
It's not like they don't want to read books. It's about what kind of books are they supposed to read, and what exactly is in that book. We don't have that culture. That's true. Aside from, for example, South Korea, they have a reading culture, starting from music to movies. You can see their celebrities, they are reading, they're sharing the type of books they are reading. You can see even in their movies, like those top riches who have this classy, you see them reading books. So they are celebrating the reading culture by showing it on the art. But for Tanzania, it has to be you vs you. It's either you like reading books or not. It is either you're being inspired to read books or not. But for me, the most important thing that I was able to do is titles. I believe a very good title, a very catchy title can inspire someone to buy your book, in which it did 100 times. So for example, my other book, my previous book, aside from Tandi, When Are You Getting Married, it was called, okay, should I translate it? It doesn't make sense if I translate it to English. But then it was a letter to all men who left me.
Okay.
So you see, that title is catchy. You have to find the book and read. So for example, I'll speak to numbers. My books, I publish 1,000 copies for 3 months, a span of 3 months. And I also have it online. So for on online, I have more than 3,000 readers for each month reading online. My 2 books that are online, A Letter to All Men Who Left Me and Tandi, When Are You Getting Married. And aside from that, other books that are published are specifically for kids. They are basing on digital. So I publish them maybe 500 copies or 2,000 copies. This it will be in partnership with either embassies or non-government organization. And kids read and they give you feedback, because at the end of the day, they have to write down what they have read from the book. So I get a lot of feedbacks, but sometimes calls from children, calls from other people like, I have read your book, when is part 2 coming? Getrude, yeah. And so you are making something good.
Previously we had a guest. His name is Jonathan Daly. Shout out to Jonathan. He has written a very good book. So can you take me through the process of writing a book for someone who is interested in writing books but they have never written any book?
First thing, you should know what do you want to write about.
Okay.
And for who.
Okay.
Because you need to know your audience. Women suffering with cancer, women who are not married, men who don't like to get married, men who hate women, men who have suffered in relationship, men who are having financial issues. Who is your audience? Because as soon as you know your audience, it will be very easy for you to write what kind of message you want to share. But then after you write it, then the next thing will be is organizing your book from page 1 to the last page, which will start, which will end. And then you will need ISBN. You'll get there from the library, National Library there at Poster. You pay, you get your ISBNs. You have to attach that in your book. But then you also need someone to proofread your book. And if there are any editings, they're supposed to edit them. Then after that is directory to publisher. Your publisher is supposed to publish that book, and boom, you have your book.
Many people are concerned that their books are being pirated. So how do you ensure that you keep the rights to your book and they're not being pirated?
That's why we have, in Tanzania specifically, we have KOSOTA, where they give you copyright to your work. If you don't want anyone to copy or plagiarize your book, you get that copyright. So it means if anyone does that and you happen to find out, you will be able to sue them. Like, maybe I need this kind of money for you guys to copy my work. So you can do that. It's very possible to protect your work.
Okay. Have you ever faced any challenge where your book was being pirated?
Not my book, but my script.
Okay.
Have you ever wrote a script? No. Have you ever done something, or have you ever sent a proposal to someone and they said, no, we can't do it, it's quite general, it doesn't make sense. Then after 6 months, you see the same idea that you sent is actually alive. It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
But then this happened. I was still at uni. I wrote this script, and then few months later, first of all, they said they can't accommodate that. It looks expensive, and they don't have a budget for that yet. But then few months later, I see that same script that I did write with my own hands is alive. But then I for that time I said we learn through mistakes.
So you didn't try to prosecute them or anything?
No, I didn't do that. I think I decided to take the lesson that they taught me, that you should try to own your work another time.
So talking about writing books, there's this one day one of Tanzanian celebrities, a comedian, Idris Sultan, commented on how Tanzanians write a lot of books, and you yourself, you have written more than 13 books, which that by itself is not a joke. How long do you take to write and finish a single book?
Well, it depends with the context within that book.
Okay.
I write storybooks, but sometimes I write books for other people, either it be celebrities, agencies like the United Nations Women, non-governmental organizations. So I write books. There are 3 groups. First group is for myself, second group is for celebrities, and third group is for non-government organizations, international agencies, but also corporate.
Okay.
Yes. So if it's my books, like the first group, I take maybe 2 days or 3. But then if it's a story of someone that I'm supposed to make it sound like a storytelling books covering true life events, it can take even 2 weeks or 1 week. But it's the editing part that takes a lot of time, because you're supposed to make sure everything that has been written is actually readable, but also is actually realistically. So you are supposed to proofread, but also making sure that there are no spelling errors. So the editing part can even take 1 month, even 2 sometimes.
And as a digital strategist, do you promote the books yourself?
As a digital strategist, yes, I do promote the books myself. I am the writer. It's like writing my own story. And after writing your own story, you're not saying to everyone that I wrote my own story. So, of course, I promote my books, in which it is through that promotion that I was able to feature my 2 books in India and South Korea. It's that promotion.
Your books are being read in India and South Korea, as I said. What other countries that your books have been translated? Maybe the other languages? More than that?
North America.
North America?
Yes. North America, but also in South Africa. Okay.
And being a communication consultant and a digital strategist, how do you think proper communication helps people in this digital age? Being able to communicate your message properly.
Being able to communicate your message properly actually helps you a lot. It builds authority. It builds authentic, but also, other than anything, it creates your engagement.
Okay.
Unlike other times, with social medias, they kind of push content that have massive likes, massive comments, and massive shares. They believe that content is really good. They believe that so if your content has 10 likes, no comments, no shares, they believe this content has issues. Why the way there are not so many likes. So you have to be very tricky when you communicate your message. For example, I have this friend of mine. How she communicates her message through her content is she'll just say, "Hi guys, I have managed to buy 4 houses." She's a real estate agent, by the way. But then you open the video, you want to open that video because the hook has said that she has bought 4 houses. So you want to know how did she manage to buy 4 houses. So the way you're communicating your message, I'll come back again to copywriting your words. You must make sure you copyright those words, your caption, but also you build authority on your content. Even this, real life example, this podcast that we're recording right now. If you add like a title, podcasting with Getrude, it won't make sense. It won't get engagement because it's same, it's podcast. But then when you write a title there, like a hook line, this is Getrude, and this is how she was able to write maybe 14th book at 26. People want to read that. So it's how you communicate your message, but also it's how you copyright those words.
You talked about having a good hook and having a good title. I'm very interested on how do you create something that will go viral? How do you do it? Like, how does the script looks like?
Well, first of all, people should know going viral is not a strategy. But a strategy is what you want to gain from that video. You want people to, maybe if you have an Airbnb, you want people to stay, you want a lot of people to know your Airbnb, or you want a lot of people to listen to your podcast, or you want a lot of people to read your books, or you want a lot of people to, to consult you maybe in real estate or in the type of courses maybe you are selling. You need to know your end goal. It's very important to know your end goal.
Okay.
Because if you won't know your end goal, your strategy will always be going viral.
Yeah.
And it's very bad because at the end of the day you will go viral and you won't find any numbers in. You won't, no money, no anything that gives you that viral advantage. So I'll say if you want to go viral, you need to really think. They say copyright is hard. It's really hard. But then you have to sit down. Be it clothes that you're selling, you have to find a unique way to sell those clothes. For example, you are selling dresses. Your hook line is, this is the type of dress I'm wearing today, visiting my mother-in-law for the first time. People want to watch that. People want to like, oh my God, this is this. But actually you're selling that dress.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is you selling things, but in a new perception. You don't sell it. It's like you're selling it, but you don't sell it. You got my point? Yes, you're selling, but not selling it. It's like convincing people to engage to your content.
Yeah, talking about selling something without actually selling it.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember one of my friend and a guest who was once here in this podcast, he always talks about selling the invisible. Yeah, which is a very good strategy, that you'll be selling something but people won't know that you're selling to them, because as you know, people hate being sold to.
Yeah, it's like it's social media. They are there to socialize, not to buy something, so you have to convince them in other way.
Yeah. And so far, what challenges have you faced being a digital strategist since when you started?
I think so far from previous years is making your work make sense.
Okay.
I think it's a very big challenge. Unlike other careers, bankers, doctors, engineers, they don't have to convince people that their work makes sense. It does make sense. It's something that have been going on for centuries. It is there, and people want that. Even every parent is proud to see their children as doctors, as engineers, as bankers, as however that professional type of work. But when it comes to digital, a lot of people can testify. Like you're telling a mom, you were at the uni studying to be a nurse, studying to be a doctor, but then boom, you turned out to be a content creator.
Yeah.
Mom, I am working as a content creator for TikTok. Parents have this ego. Like, how do I tell my friends that my own child, is a content creator for TikTok? What exactly? What are you doing? I am creating videos, dancing video. You are dancing. I'm finished. So you can say that my enemies have managed to kill me. So it doesn't make sense to them because it's not proper to them. It's not something they have used to. They have used to these professional careers. So you telling them, I am now a digital strategist. What is that? You do what? I manage pages. So this is my is it even real? So you have one job every day to make sure that the thing that you're doing is making sense to the community around you. It's very hard. It's very hard. So I think that is the most biggest challenge. But then as we go on, as we push forward, a lot of parents, a lot of community, they see money. You know, when you see something makes money out of it, you feel like, oh, this is real, This is real. So we keep pushing, and I believe maybe a few years later, everything concerning digital will make sense to a lot of people.
And what advice would you give to young people who want to get into being digital strategists?
Either them they want to be digital strategists, or maybe they want to be authors. I'd say be you. I know it's very hard to be you because we're in a world of being you suck. If you have to pretend to be someone else for you to get recognized, for you to get numbers of likes, for you to be relevant. So, but then you have to try to be you. Your skills, your talent, that you have something that separates you from another person. You have to use that. Just because Musa is doing a podcast and currently maybe it's a trend, podcasts go viral, they bring in money, you don't have to do it because Musa is doing it, it is easy, I can also get money. You have to do it because you actually want to do it, because you actually have passionate in it. So be you, be yourself, find that something you truly wish to bring in, either economy impact or social impact.
You know, these days a lot of people waste a lot of time scrolling on social media, and that has been affecting people because they find themselves comparing to other people's highlights of life, and they'll get depressed as well. So do you think social media is more toxic than it is helpful to people?
You know, social media is not toxic.
Yeah.
The people who are using social media are toxic.
Okay.
So you can't tell me Instagram is toxic.
Yeah.
No, they just invented the app. It's there. It's not toxic. It's
Yeah.
you, the users.
Yeah.
The users are toxic to the social media. And whatsoever they want to try to showcase there, it's up to them.
Yeah.
You don't have to force people. Like, you have to be real.
Yeah.
If you are struggling, say that. You're always happy. Why are you always happy? Tell us when you're sad. No, it's their choice. They chose to show you that they have many houses, they go to parties, they do this, they go to Zanzibar every day, they meet a lot of famous people. That's the side they chose to show you.
Yeah.
So if you feel like, I am not doing anything, I am just staying at home, I feel useless, it means you are comparing your life to them. I don't like it saying, you don't even know what they're going through. Even if you know, it's their life. It is up to you to choose what kind of lifestyle you want to show on social media. What kind of person do you want people to know when they find out your page, when they find out your digital footprint. But also, who are you online? What is your identity? That is very important. As I have seen several comments of people, maybe they see this couple going to Ibiza, going to New York, going to whatsoever, like they're traveling the world, and they'll be connecting, God, if I'm a fish, take me to the ocean right now. Because it feels like I'm not a human anymore. So we get this impression like other people's lives are better than us. Previously, when social media was not a trend, you'll see your neighbor struggling, you'll see your neighbor having good moments. So it was not a problem because you see his life like, oh, sometimes he's struggling, so it's not a problem. But with social media, you don't see that part of struggling. You only see that part of happiness, which scares you the most. So you should try to find out what exactly do you want to showcase on your digital page, not what you see there. You should leave it there on internet. Yeah.
Passing through your social media, Instagram to be specific, I've seen you connecting with a lot of big industry leaders, the likes of Mona Fay, Jokate, which most people look at them as their idols. So what tips do you have for people who want to connect better with this kind of industry leaders that they look up to as mentors or as inspirations? How do they connect with them?
I would say this.
Yeah.
You need to have something as well.
Okay.
You cannot connect with someone if you have nothing to share with that someone.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Why am I here? Because I am connected to what the podcast is doing. I am connected to your values. So if I were not connected to your values, I could not be here. So what are you doing? What do you have that you can actually share with them? Like, I am doing this and this. I need you to help me with this and this. I am actually at this point of my life of doing this. I would love if you would be able to push me to this point of this and this. So what are you doing? Because you get connected to people because of something that you are currently pushing. So yeah, what are you doing? And what do you want from them?
And talking about connecting with people, how important has it been to you being able to connect with people and networking with people? How has it helped you in your career so far?
There are doors that you can't pass through because you are brave, because you are smart. There are doors you can actually pass through because you are connected to someone. Like, that point of being connected to someone gives you this title of trust. Like, okay, she can come in, we can trust her, she knows this, she's connected to this, so we can trust her. But also, when you're connected to people, it is very easy to be helped. Because you can't do it alone. And sometimes there are things that might even take a long time to be achieved. But then if you are connected to someone, it will be very easy for them to help you because they have certain skill that they can bring in on the table. So it's very easy, and I would advise people to actually not stay inside. If there are any events, they should actually go. They should be connected either to the speakers or to the organizers. That's where you are being given keys to open so many doors. So don't own one key. Make sure you have 4, 5, 6 keys.
Talking about connections, I know a lot of people want to connect, but they don't know where to connect to. And that's why we have events like Connectors Club. So if you're watching this and you want to connect with other people, like-minded people, you may as well attend one of the Connectors Club events. So you'll meet a lot of people. You don't know who will be your destiny helper. And as Getrude said, you must have people, because people are the ones that will push you to that next level. So what else that I haven't asked you, but you really wish you would share with the audience right now?
Okay, that's tricky. It's tricky because what I can share to the audience is that sometimes they might be going through something. Maybe you scroll to different pages of people on social media. You find them going there, you find their success stories. Usually on social media we post results. We don't post progress. So there are a lot of rejections than acceptance. There are a lot of rejection, I'm telling you. And sometimes it feels like, am I doing this right? It gives you that momentum of thinking and rethinking, should I keep doing this? So if you're doing something, if you're getting a lot of rejections, either it be emails, either it be messages, either it because that's not your time yet. We don't learn patience in class, which makes it even harder to practice in life, because you don't know when will you succeed. 6 months is 10 years, you don't know. But then I think time will come, and I am a witness to it, that everything will fall through and will get intact to each other.
So that's it for today. Thank you so much, Gertrude, for coming and sharing your views. If you want Gertrude for part 2, just comment down below, Gertrude, and she'll come back because she has a lot to share. I have a lot that I haven't asked her. So if you want to connect with Gertrude as well, we're going to put down her social medias and link to her books if you want to read her books as well. As always, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.